What's up guys, Simply Coco here and welcome back to my channel and welcome to another speed build in The Sims 4. So as you can see from the title, today we are building a luxury retirement home or senior living residence or whatever you prefer to call it. Um, I normally when you think of, or normally when I think of um, like an assisted it I wouldn't let me rephrase that. I wouldn't consider this like an assisted living senior residency. Like yes, they're gonna have a staff, but it's more so for like rich people or rich sims in this case who don't want to live in their house anymore because it's too big for just them, so they come and live here. It's not basically it's not just for sims that have disabilities or sims that um, have sicknesses or something like that and they need to be looked after. It's just they come here because they want to. It's yeah. But so that's why I'm calling it a retirement home instead of like assisted living or like something like that. Um, but yeah, it's a luxury retirement home. So as you can see, I'm just trying to put together the shell. Um, it took me a while to kind of get it there. I am building this. I kind of got not reference. I kind of got inspiration from a luxury retirement facility called, I think it was called the V, and I think it's in Palo Alto. Um, yeah, so that's kind of where I got my inspiration for this build. And yeah, so I'm just putting together the shell right now. I'm going for this kind of tan, I think it's concrete, and then the stone on some of the like bump out parts. Now these are the balconies, so if you see me kind of pop inside to do some of the floor plan, it's just so I can see where these balconies needed to go and windows and stuff like that. I think I think the floor plan is done at this point. Don't I don't know. Sorry. Well, I don't know what I was about to say, but excuse me, a lot is going to be cut out of this speed build just because um, I had 47 different clips. Yeah. So that's a lot. I have like maybe 15, but I had 47 like different clips. So like footage. I had 15 sets. Like I mean I had 47 different things of footage. Like it was crazy. So I had to like put them into Premiere Pro in like sections and then speed that section up and then put the next section in there. And then once I did all of that, I just went through all the footage and just was like, cut this out, cut this out, cut this out. But as per usual, if something is cut out, it will definitely be in the screenshots at the end of the video. So please stick around for that if you don't see a room that you wanted to get seen. If you wanted to see it get done. I'm sorry that I couldn't speak. But I'm using these debug like planters um, on the edge of the lot, and then a lot of debug plants are going in them. Um, I wanted the front of this place to look very, very, very lush, just because going off of the um, real life version of this building, the photos I was looking at, the front was that it was very, very lush. So I kind of wanted to mimic that. Again, it's not an exact replication of the building. I just took certain aspects of it and was like, okay, yeah, let's use that. I want to do that. So literally just placing everything, I mean, not everything, but literally just placing a whole lot of landscaping around, a lot of plants. As far as what plants I'm using, as usual, I look around the lot and see what's around, and then I just take those plants and put them, as the landscaping, just so it looks like it belongs on the lot that it belongs in. Speaking of the lot it belongs in, I am building this on the biggest lot actually in New Crest. I believe it's the biggest lot. I think it's a 50 by 50. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, it's in New Crest. I wasn't 100% sold on the location. Maybe it would look better in what is it called? In Willow Creek, maybe in one of the more upscale neighborhoods, possibly. Because when I think of New Crest and actually how I'm building New Crest, it's going to be very, very modern. Um, Not a whole lot of traditional looking homes or buildings or anything like that. It's going to be very modern. Not that this looks traditional, um, but I wouldn't necessarily say it looks modern either. I mean, maybe a little bit. The exterior does. Maybe. I'm not sure. You can tell me. But yeah. Yeah, what I was saying is I'm not 100% sold on the lot it's on, but I probably will end up keeping it there unless I can find something. Oh, what? This voiceover is sucking already, and I'm so sorry, guys. This will be a part of my save file, um, unless I find something better to build here. So ignore the pavement I just put down in the back because I end up changing that to the kind of rock pellet terrain paint that I put in the front of the build. Just to make it like fit in and blend in and look right, and especially because I put that rock path over here to go to this corner, because I make this corner like a rose garden, and the rock path coming out from underneath that pavement didn't look right to me, so I just changed the whole back of the build to the pavement. Now I'm just putting some benches out here. I was gonna put a trash can, but then I was like, no, that looks too much like a park, and it's not a park, and people wouldn't necessarily be sitting out here. I mean, they would, but only like if they wanted fresh air or anything or something like that. I don't think they'd be out here and have to throw something away. There's gonna be plenty of seating on the inside, as you can see. Or as you will see. But now that I think about it, I didn't put any trash cans on the inside. Like I did where they were needed, like in the bathroom or in the kitchen, but not just like randomly placed for like visitors that come in and out. I will say now that the build is not finished. There's going to be 6 bedrooms in this place for residents. 7 if you count the bedroom for the staff, but there's 6 resident bedrooms, and I only furnished 1 because they're all going to be pretty much laid out the same way. So you won't see me furnish all of them, but I will try and get them furnished before I put this on the gallery. And there's some smaller bathrooms upstairs that I also did not furnish, that I have not furnished yet. But again, I'll definitely get the bathrooms done before I put it on the gallery. But the bedrooms, I may not. I may leave it up to you to furnish them. What I might do is just go and put the kitchens in, because I imagine in a place like this, well, they don't really have like full-on kitchens. They're like small kitchenettes. But I imagine in a place like this, all the kitchen areas would look the same, but the furniture could differ. So that might be what I do, is just go in and put like the kitchenettes in each room, and then leave it up to you to fill the rest with furniture. But I imagine this I'm doing the entrance right now, by the way. This is a longer video, so expect this voiceover to be kind of all over the place as far as what I'm talking about. I may not always be talking about the build, or even if I am talking about the build, I might not be talking about what I'm doing at that moment. But I'm doing the entranceway. I absolutely love the entranceway and what I end up doing with the entranceway in the lobby. It looks really nice, in my opinion. Ignore what I'm doing with these lights right now, because where I wanted to put them, I really couldn't, because there was no roof above it, because as you can see, I made like a landing. And ignore the eco lifestyle banister that's there right now. Obviously I changed that. I just needed something there so I could knock out the floor. But so this, like I said, I imagine there being 6 residence rooms and then a staff room. So how I would play in this lot, I would have 7 elders that live here. 2 of them are a couple, and then the other 5 are just single sims. Yeah. So the room that you will see me furnish is the couple's room because it has a double bed, and the other 5 rooms will have single beds in them. So that's 7 sims out of your family. Like, you can have 8 sims in a household. So that's 7 sims out of the 8. So what I would do with that 8th sim that you can add, I would create a sim that could be the nurse, like the on-site nurse, because you will see me furnish like a nurse's office, or it's like a small little doctor's office. But I imagine in a place like this, I think they're called nurses, but they kind of do everything. Obviously, they're not going to perform procedures, but they'll do checkups and stuff like that for the residents. So what I would do with that 8th sim is create a nurse that can take care of the residents if they get sick or need medicine or something like that. And then what I would do is I would hire a butler, because a butler will come and live on your lot with you, but they won't technically be a part of your family. So I think at least I think so. So that can be another way. So that can be a way to get another staff member in here without adding someone else to your family. You just have to assign the butler a bed. And yeah, I have a room that the butler can sleep in. It would be the same room as the on-site nurse, but I mean, it's whatever. And then what I would do from there is hire a maid. Now with a maid, I don't think a maid can stay on your lot, but she can be a reoccurring maid and she'll come back every single day. So then you would have the 7 residents and then the 3 workers. The nurse that was in your household with the residents, and then a butler that you hired and then assigned a bed, and then a maid that you made a reoccurring maid that would come every day. Obviously, you can choose to play however you want. That's just my suggestion or how I would play with this lot. Yeah, I don't have any storylines this time as far as who lives here or anything like that. And I know some of you really like that I do that. But this was just a build that I wanted to do because the Nifty Knitting Stuff Pack came out. And that was so much, it wasn't targeted towards elders, but like a lot of people, used it for more elder gameplay. I do put a craft room in this build, but it's my least favorite room, probably just because of the swatches on those Nifty Knitting objects. But it is what it is. Yeah. And then I was, not to like take credit or anything, but Freezer Bunny and Devin Bumpkin did a retirement home, and before I had heard anybody was gonna do it, I was gonna do one, and I was like, and then both of them released theirs on the same day, and I was like, crap. But it really didn't matter. They were always gonna get theirs out before me because it took me so long to build this. I don't know how long it took me. I didn't even look, but yeah, about 47 clips, and if each clip was 10 minutes worth of footage, then you do the math. I don't know, but and just so no one took what I said a minute ago the wrong way, it doesn't matter that they released theirs before I did. It was just kind of like, dang, it was just kind of like, dang, I thought I had, an original idea, but I didn't. But I mean, it's whatever. It's The Sims. There's only so much any of us can do. But so this area that I'm doing right now is the formal living space. So this is still considered the lobby. but this living space is more so for visitors. um, you could come down, like if someone comes and visits their mom or dad or grandpa, grandma, they could come sit in the formal sitting area and yeah, have a chat. Or like if the grandpa or grandma's lawyer needs to come and see them, they can sit in there, they can sit in the formal living room and have a chat, or something like that. It's just these places have like those kind of things, formal living rooms. And then back here is just the reception desk. There's one side for the guests that need to come and check someone in or check someone out, or take their mom out for the day. That's who they would check in with. And then the other side is for the residents. If they need something, they can come down here and ask the other side. Yeah, so to fill up space, I literally put seating everywhere. And then the interior of the retirement home that I'm kind of basing this off of, they had the same thing. It was just kind of chairs and side tables just everywhere. Just random seating areas, basically. I really liked what I did over here with these posters, not posters, paintings, and the bookcase. I imagine that those two people, like, maybe founded this place. They were husband and wife or something. Actually, no, I put a painting of a woman in the formal living space, and maybe that's who I was thinking founded the place. I don't know. Maybe the man and the woman over there were like two of the first residents or something. I don't know. You can decide that. I will apologize now if anything is too fast or jumpy or spinny and you get dizzy or nauseous. Whatever the case may be, I do apologize. Again, this was a very long video, and even I was trying really hard to get it under 25 minutes. I didn't quite get there. It's just right at 29 with the 29 minutes with the screenshots. It'll probably be over 30. But yeah, if it wasn't as fast as it is, it'd be a 45-minute video. Excuse me, and I just was not doing that. And I think, I mean, me being a person that enjoys watching speed builds, I do not mind a 45-minute video, or like watching Devin Bumpkin do a let's build for an hour does not bother me, and I actually really like it because like I can split up the video into 2 days, watch 30 minutes one day, 30 minutes the next or something. It's content. Of course I'm gonna like to watch it. It's just, as the creator, it's like I don't want to sit down and do a 45-minute voiceover. I don't want to sit down and do a 30-minute voiceover and have absolutely nothing to say. So like from a creator's perspective, it's totally different. I'm like, no, the shorter the better. I thought I cut out all the footage of the hallways, but this is one of the hallways. I put what are they called? Aquariums, and then just some more seating and some paintings and stuff like that. This is the formal dining space. I say formal because there's a tiny non-formal one upstairs. There's also going to be a non-formal living space upstairs. You're only going to see me place the tables, I believe, because I think I cut out the footage of me placing the chairs. But like I said, all the screenshots will have all the rooms that matter in them. So if you want to see what this ends up looking like, check out the screenshots, and you will also kind of see it for a second while I'm doing the kitchen, because I started doing the kitchen, then I needed to fix something in the dining room. So you will see me pop back in the dining room in just a second because I'm doing the kitchen now, and you can kind of see the dining room from certain angles when I'm doing this kitchen. So they won't have a chef, which is sad, but I think you can click on this object because this object belongs in a restaurant technically. So I think you can click on that stove object and hire somebody. I think. I'm not exactly sure. I would assume it works that way because it is supposed to go in a restaurant. So I think you can click on it and hire someone, but I'm not exactly sure. If you can't, then the sim that you make the nurse might also have to double as the chef. But I think I'm not I've n- ugh, excuse me. I don't have the pack that butlers came in, so I've never played with butlers, but I think they will cook for you. I'm pretty sure that's something butlers do. I think the butler will cook. The maid might even cook. I'm not sure. Um, but yeah. So now I am moving on to the game room. The game room is right across from the kitchen and next to the dining area, just for you to get kind of like spatial awareness of where things are. This is another one of my not so favorite rooms. It's just kind of, plain, and the game objects in the game are so like big and bulky that there was only so much I could put in here. Um, but I will say, just because I'm thinking about it right now, this has nothing to do with the build. But those of you that have submitted to my shell challenge, thank you so much. I have chosen, as of right now, I only have 13 entries. I have chosen 5. Um, but I have yet to do my version. So if you're watching this and you want to participate in that shell challenge, I will give you another week to do that. Um, unless I finish my version of it before then. So whichever comes first, me finishing my version of my shell, which I have not even started yet. So if that tells you, or a week from now, I will give you that long to go ahead and submit your builds. Just search me up on the gallery. It's simply Coco94, or the hashtag simply Coco Shell. So, and that's where you submit it to as well. And then now I am in the craft room. Had no idea what color scheme I wanted to go for. The color scheme that I end up going for in the what you will see is all yellow, because since when you're playing Sims, you kind of get a bird's eye view of everything. And even though it's a separate room, I could have made it, purple if I wanted to. But since you kind of get a bird's eye view when you're playing the game, I wanted it to all look like it went together. I wanted the color schemes to match throughout. So even this yellow that I'm going for, I changed some of them, some of the objects to white, just so from above it kind of fits the aesthetic of the rest of the build better. Because I would say the interior is almost traditional in a sense, traditional in a very like retirement home kind of way, in a very like how a hospital would look, or a doctor's office. I just said hospital. Just is that kind of vibe where there's random tables with flowers on them, or a statue on them, or something like that. I have no idea what I'm talking about, y'all. But anyway, I am doing the gym now. I wanted this to be a gym slash wellness center, but I just didn't have room for like the sauna and stuff. So I just put some treadmills and a boxing thing, and then the full, like, the weights. I thought I cut this out. Maybe I cut out me like decorating it, but this is the staff bedroom. So there's a bed for the nurse, there's a bed for the maid, and there's a bed for the butler. Again, I'm not exactly sure if the maid can actually stay on site, but the butler definitely can. But I put 3 beds anyway, just in case. Yeah, again, I thought I cut this footage out, but I guess I didn't. So I gave them a closet. I gave them one dresser. There's 3 drawers in the dresser, so maybe each drawer is one of theirs. And also their bedside tables have drawers, just for the maximum amount of storage. This is the pool. I don't think you saw me lay out the pool. I may have cut that out, but I just wanted you to see what I did in the pool. So I put these tables that I think are just base game tables, and chairs that are from the backyard stuff pack, in here, with this little wall fountain. I think it's called like bubbles. It has like bubbles or something. I don't even know. But I do that, and then I put the kind of wicker sofa in front of it. Yeah, this one right here that came with back. Is it Perfect Patio? Maybe. I think so. And then those side tables I think came from Seasons. I'm not exactly sure, but this is the pool area. I imagine they have, different classes that they can come and take in here, like water aerobics and stuff. And yeah, now finally moving on upstairs. I did all the upstairs hallways and stuff and the landing and stuff off camera. I don't think there's a photo of the landing in the screenshots, but you know, if you want to see the whole build in its entirety, once it's up on the gallery, you can pop it in your game. Just make sure you turn on the bb.moveobjects sheet first. But this is the laundry room. So I just put a laundry and then a dryer, laundry and then a dryer, or washer then dryer, washer dryer, just washer dryer, just all the way around the room. And then I put these base game tables in here to act as folding tables, and then I put some clutter on them to make it look like there's people actively washing things. I imagine the butler would wash clothes, but this is also the residents have complete access to this. So as long as they, if they're willing and able, they can come in here and wash their own clothes if they want. Otherwise, the butler will do it. Because like I said at the beginning of this video, I wouldn't imagine that everyone that lives here necessarily needs help living. They just maybe they lived in a 3-story mansion with 10 bedrooms and once their last kid moved out, their last kid moved out, and then after they turned 65, they were like, we don't need this big house, or I don't need this big house, so let me go live here. I would imagine maybe there are some people who are here because they need assisted living, but they're still rich, which is why they can afford to live here. But anyway, this is the non-formal living space, and behind it is the non-formal kind of dining space. Yeah, so in there I just put a TV. I didn't put a stereo or a bookcase in there. I think I put like one of the small book things that can act as a bookcase, but I'm not exactly sure. And then here is the very first room, or the only room rather, that you will see me do. But just to give you an idea of the layout, so this is one of the bigger rooms. There's 4 rooms that are this size, and then there's 2 rooms that's and then there are 2 rooms that are like one tile, like smaller, not one tile like one single tile, but like the whole room is pulled one tile in, if that makes sense. If you probably know what I'm talking about or what I'm trying to say. But this is what I meant by kitchenette. It's just some counters and then a mini fridge and a microwave. I imagine they wouldn't want to give... Now, the place that I was building this, getting inspiration for this from, I think they had full-on kitchens, like stoves, ovens, whatever you want to call them, full-on fridges and all of that. But I was thinking like, you wouldn't, not to compare old people to kids, but like just like you wouldn't want kids to be left alone with a stove or an oven or knives or stuff like that, I imagine you wouldn't want elders to be alone with that stuff. I don't know. That's just kind of my thought process of that, and that's why I didn't give them a full-on kitchen. Because like if they set the stove on fire, they can't get to the door, or if they drop a knife and it cuts their foot or something like that, so that's why I didn't give them full kitchens. But it was very hard to lay this out. It wasn't very hard, but I wanted it to have some sort of kitchen, a sleeping area, and a living space. And so it's very, very cramped, but functional. So yeah, we'll make it work. Obviously, you can do whatever you want to the room once you've downloaded this lot. Um, but yeah, what like I said, I probably will go ahead and just do like the kitchenettes and then leave it up to you to furnish the rest of the rooms. But anyway, as you can see, guys, the screenshots are rolling. I apologize again for how bad this voiceover was. I don't know why. I just did a voiceover yesterday. Maybe it's just because this was a longer video, or I didn't come into it knowing what I was going to say or with a storyline or anything like that. But anyway, guys, yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will always respond to your comments. And feel free to turn on that notification bell. That way you know exactly when I post my next video, exactly when I post it, and I will see you all then. Bye, and sorry again for the mess of a voiceover. Okay, bye.